Before we get started with this video, I have an announcement to make. I am now on Koo, which is the Indian version of Twitter. The link to my profile is in the description. Click and follow me there. And secondly, I have a private Telegram group as well. It's a free group. The link is again in the description. Click and join me. The purpose of this group is to create a platform where I cannot be banned by a big tech giant like Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. So it helps me connect with you without having to censor myself to avoid a ban. And thirdly, please click like and subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be releasing more videos in the future and I would love to have you. How to improve your English speaking skills. This article is for people who speak English as a second language, and while they can get their message across, they struggle to speak fluently and gracefully. Maybe you grew up in rural India, maybe you didn't go to an English medium school. Whatever the case, this article is for you. The three main issues holding you back. Most people I see who come from this background seem to have three problems with their English skills. 1. They need to process speech from their native language to English and vice versa. This makes them repeatedly pause when speaking and makes them appear incompetent, doubtful, and unintelligent. People assume you're low value. It also keeps interrupting the flow of conversation and makes talking to them a test of patience. 2. They make errors in the placement of articles and prepositions. For example, instead of saying, "I want a pizza with some paneer," they will say, "I want pizza with paneer." They obviously do not have a sophisticated way of speaking. For example, a fluent speaker might say, "Man, it's freezing in here, let's turn the AC off." Instead, they'll use a straightforward, "It's very cold, can we turn the AC off?" Nothing wrong with this, but it does make things feel too formal at times and makes these people harder to connect with. It takes away from their charisma by making them seem too plain. How to become more fluent in English. Phase 1. Gaining familiarity and developing your intuition. Our first order of business is becoming more familiar with the language in a non-academic way and building up intuition for sentence structure. We will also be expanding our vocabulary. Here is what you need to do. Read novels. Novels are superior to non-fiction in the beginning because they will make you better at sophisticated, informal communication. You will learn a lot from the dialogues the characters in them have. Novels, especially the fat ones, can seem intimidating at first, but they are nothing to be afraid of. If you read 15 pages a day, which is easily doable in less than an hour, you could get done with a fat 450-page novel in 1 month. Here are some novels that I recommend reading in order. 1. The Harry Potter series, which is 7 books. This series is perfect for beginners since the language used is fairly simple and the first books are relatively short by novel standards, so it's easy for you to build momentum. Reading your first novel is the hardest because the task feels so intimidating. But don't worry, you will be burning through them sooner than you think. Estimated time to read all 7 books. The total word count of all Harry Potter books combined is about 1,084,170 words. If you read at 200 words per minute, which is considered slow, it should take you about 90 hours for you to read all of them. Investing 1 hour per day, this is about 3 months of time. Second, the inheritance cycle, 4 books. Once you get done with Harry Potter, take up the 4 Aragon books. It's a fun, fast-moving read except for the second book in the series. The English used is a bit more cryptic than Harry Potter, so it'll add to your progress. Just a fun fact, by the way, this was the first novel I read. I read it back in the 9th grade, and I used to be afraid of novels too. Estimated reading time. This series of books has about 904,000 words, so about 75 hours of reading material at 200 words per minute, or about 2.5 months if you read for 1 hour per day. It will likely take you less time than that because your reading speed will have improved quite a bit by now. And thirdly, I would recommend reading The Wolf of Wall Street, which is 1 book. This is a fun read which is also on my book recommendations page. I recommend reading this one because unlike all the 11 books above, this one is set in the real world, which will teach you more contemporary real-life language. The estimated reading time for this book is about 15 hours since it's only 180,000 words, so you can read it in less than half a month if you read for 1 hour per day. All in, Phase 1 will last you about 6 months and will span 12 novels. Make sure that you have a dictionary by your side for when you spot new words. Here is what you should expect after Phase 1. Your reading speed will be much faster. Your English will become more sophisticated. You won't be as awkward as you used to. You will also become comfortable using slang and shorthand words like should have, could have, wanna, gonna, they'll, we'll, etc. Most importantly, you will not be making as many errors like you used to. You will have developed the instinct to use correct grammar. You will no longer have to think about whether you need to say, I need a chair or I need the chair. It will come to you instinctively, just like how it is with your native language currently. Once you're done with Phase 1, pat yourself on the back because half the battle is already won. Phase 2. Becoming a fluent speaker. While you now know English, speaking it fluently will still take some practice. Find someone to converse in English with. It is best if you can find yourself around a group of people who speak English well, since being around a fluent speaker will help you become fluent so much faster as you pick up their language skills. If you don't have anyone around you who speaks English well, then the next best thing is another learner like you. Although keep in mind that someone on the same level as you cannot point out and correct your mistakes, and the two of you might end up practicing bad English. If you are really out of options, which is highly unlikely, I would say hire a native speaker on Fiverr to speak with you. Search for Practice English and you should be able to find someone for about $10 an hour. You can also find tutors on websites like italki or Cambly, but I have never used them. Watch some foreign TV shows and movies and listen to some English podcasts. This is probably the only time I'll endorse watching TV and movies. Just make sure that you're watching macho stuff and not bullshit sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother and Friends, which are just psyops designed to turn you into a beta male. Here are some recommendations. Burn Notice, the Joe Rogan podcast, the Life Math Money podcast, which you're currently listening to, White Collar, movies by Tarantino, Die Hard, and Rocky. Figure this out. I don't watch any movies or TV, so I'm the wrong guy to ask. The goal here is to get familiar with different styles of speaking English and to learn to contextually use proverbs, idioms, and common sentences. For example, take it in stride. It's okay, can't win them all. I'm just being hopeful, never say never. All of these make you sound more human, relatable, and genuine. Start listening to English music and sing along. Pick some English songs and avoid songs that are about love and romance, and then try to sing along with them. lyric videos help. The goal here is to give you practice with speaking fast, otherwise you will end up stammering and getting stuck mid-sentence all the time. Learn to think in English. Over the long term, you will have to teach yourself to think in English instead of thinking in your native language. When you think in your native language and then convert to English, your brain spends some time in the conversion process, and to the outside observer, it looks like you're pausing too much and getting stuck. This is something that will come with time as you finish phase 1 and move to phase 2. Don't pressure yourself too much about it. Take it one day at a time, and your English speaking skills will have markedly improved, and you should be reasonably fluent in about a year or so. I hope this helps. This is your man Harsh Strongman, and I will see you next time. Thank you for listening to a Life Math Money podcast, and have a good day. Make sure you click the like, comment and subscribe button, and click the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is released. Thank you.